welcome back again. So today's video I wanted to do on practical life activities. So if you're familiar with Montessori, you'll know that practical life activities are kind of fundamental really. It's all about including your child, inviting your child really to kind of participate in everyday activities and chores. So what I mean by that is kind of everyday things that you do, like cleaning, like cooking, washing, all those types of things that we do every day. It's about inviting your child to participate and letting them learn those extra skills gained from kind of involving themselves in those activities. And then also they get a level of independence, because when they learn how to do them, they'll have a role to play in the family, they'll be helping along as part of a combined kind of unit, and they'll be gaining independence because those are things they're not eventually going to need your help with. Mia is 2.5 now, and I've always kind of invited her to do things with me, because sometimes, especially when they're younger, you'll notice children are a lot clingier, kind of around from one onwards. So if you don't kind of invite them to do it with you, sometimes you don't get to do these things unless you've got someone there to help and kind of spend a bit of time with them while you get on with these jobs. They don't always let you out of their sight for very long, and you might be feeling that way about your toddler at the moment. So yeah, the good thing about including them in these types of activities from an early age is they kind of get used to you doing these things and kind of being there to help along. And there are always ways that you can scale it down. Some things they just won't be able to do, you know, which are going to be hard. Sometimes they might not be strong enough to hold a broom for sweeping. They might not be kind of strong enough to lift plates or heavy kind of saucepans. So there are things you can do to scale down practical life activities to kind of make it easier for them to kind of play a part really. So I personally love the practical life aspect of Montessori, and I totally embraced this when Mia was from kind of 1 really, when she could walk and stuff and be more kind of involved, and she was more interested in being involved as well. What I love are these are things they are going to need when they grow older. You know, everybody needs to learn how to clean, everybody needs to learn how to take care of their home and environment, everybody needs to learn how to cook and bake as well, and kind of organise and tidy and just kind of look after themselves really. So these are things that they are going to need to learn eventually, and if you kind of bring them up with that ethos and learning those skills from a younger age, it's really going to benefit them. So that's one thing that I fully embrace and one thing that I really love about Montessori. So yeah, I mean, it's all about raising an independent, capable, confident, you know, child, and practical life type stuff is such a big part of that. So basically I want to share with you the kind of practical life activities that we do with Mia as a 2.5-year-old, things that she's fully able to do every day with me, yeah, see if kind of that helps you coming up with ideas of things you can do with your own children. So usually when she's making toast, I will get out a little bit of butter and put it in a little pot, otherwise she'll kind of like keep using loads and loads, and I'll get a little knife which is like child size. So cooking on the hob might look a little bit dangerous. We do kind of do this in steps, so I'm really careful about kind of reinforcing the dangers and making sure that she's fully aware. You know, children don't want to hurt themselves, they don't want to get burnt, so they do remember, you know, if there's a risk. So when she's chopping, we tend to use either a crinkle chopper, which I can link below. And then I got these kind of child-friendly toddler knives as well. So this is the crinkle cutter. Both of those are from Amazon, but yeah, they're really good, really light, really easy to hold. We started off with a crinkle cutter because it's just kind of like a pushing down motion rather than a back and forth with a knife. She found that a lot easier when she was younger. But yeah, they're really great, especially if you want to do chips, or like if you're cutting paneer and stuff like that, because we eat a lot of paneer. It makes a really nice crinkle edge, which I love. So when we're baking, I tend to kind of set all the ingredients out in little bowls, so there's no kind of room for error really, makes it a lot easier. I tend to use recipes where you can pour everything in all at once, so there's not too complicated for them. Hi. Would you like me to help you? Shall I hold the tray? Or the pan? There. So Mia wasn't able to use a spray bottle this big until recently, maybe when she turned about 2. When she was younger, I used to fill up a smaller spray bottle, more kind of child size, with water. So she always had access to that, and she could practice kind of that motion of pressing the nozzle, because it takes quite a lot of hand strength and quite a lot of practice, and obviously children are working on that kind of fine motor movement at this age. But yeah, she uses a big one now, and yeah, she helps with kind of cleaning, but initially it was just with water because she would try and eat it. What's it? Not coming off, is it? Unfortunately, it's inside the... So when she first started helping me load the washer, it was simply just loading the washer, nothing else. And then we kind of introduced more steps. So now she does the liquid, she turns the dial and turns it on. So there's quite a few steps to completing the task in full. But initially she just used to help me kind of load it and unload it. And yeah, then we kind of gradually increase those steps. Move the little leaves, shall I help? So I keep a little watering can in the garden, so she can always have access to it. It's just kept to one side, and then I help her kind of fill it up because she's not used to kind of turning the outside tap on yet. And with weeding, we have some kind of child-sized tools. She tends to just stick her hands in there and pull them up. And that's good on that kind of fine motor strength. So I was just going to add a couple of tips here at the end. One thing I would always say, if you're wanting to kind of take on these type of activities and introduce them to your toddler, do it in the most simple way possible. Kind of don't make it too complicated for them. Like with loading the washing machine, for example, there are a few steps to that. So it's kind of opening the door, then putting the clothes in, closing the door, turning the dial, putting the liquid in or whatever's next, and then pressing the button. So you might just want to start with offering maybe them one step. You might want to ask them if they want to load it with you first, and then next time you might want to ask them to pour the liquid in. So it's just about introducing it kind of step by step and not making it too complicated, because if it's too complicated they just won't want to do it. If it's too kind of overwhelming, they'll just kind of wander off. So yeah, and that's my kind of first tip. Make it simple. For example, I'll give you another example. If you were wanting them to help you unload the dishwasher, what I would do is take away all the heavy items at the bottom and just put things there that they can reach and they can pick up and they can put away. So if you've got a low accessible cupboard or drawer that they can open and put them away into, then that's going to help them kind of be successful at it. And then you can start making it a little bit more difficult kind of as they get more competent. But yeah, initially if you make it manageable and kind of something that they can succeed at, then they're more likely to kind of do it. And my second tip really is to just invite them to come and do it with you. So if if you're kind of playing with them and you need to go off and do some cooking, or you need to go off and kind of do some cleaning, then just tell them what you're doing and invite them to come. Is what I usually do. I usually say, I'm going to do the washing up now. Would you like to come, or would you like to stay and play? And then it's up to them. If they don't come, that's totally fine. They'll come and be curious when they're ready to. My toddler's really into practical life stuff, but she wasn't always. You know, sometimes she said no after no after no, and she just didn't want to do it, and that's totally fine. You know, it's about them having their own choices and their own decisions and independence, and just letting them kind of be curious about things when they're ready to. It's just about following them. But as long as you invite them and ask them if they want to, then they'll know that it's an option. So at some point they'll probably say yes, and they'll come along and help you with it, and you can show them kind of how to and the steps and the instruction. But yeah, just kind of no pressure really, that's what I would say. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. To my new subscribers, welcome and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know what kind of activities you get up to. I'd love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't watched my videos before but you're kind of interested. Then yeah, do subscribe below, and thumbs up if you like, and comment as well. I always like to hear from you. I'm getting some wonderful messages from some of my subscribers who are kind of taking on board some of my recommendations, which I absolutely love. You might remember in my last video I talked about the snack cupboard. That's been quite a hit actually. I've had quite a few people doing snack cupboards with their toddlers and finding it a really good alternative to kind of offering them snacks throughout the day. So yeah, I was going to do a video on that. If you do want me to talk a bit more about that, then do let me know, and I'm happy to put together a video. But yeah, I hope you guys are getting on okay, and I'll see you in the next video.